as we know that today will be here to present the as you have noticed, this is September. And in Hindi, what we call it? Samvidhan. So we are advising you on that Constitution Day only.
So tomorrow is Constitution Day. That is your 26th November. On the date of 26th November 1949, we were already done with our constitution. That means we have completed the constitution. But why we have opted, that means we can say why we have implemented our constitution on 26th of January. Is there any answer? Anyone? Why we have implemented our constitution on 26th January? See, today is, we can say tomorrow as well. So tomorrow is Constitution Day, which was celebrated as National Law Day, as you are able to see here, National Law Day. So National Law Day, but why we are considering it as Constitution Day, which is already written over here in highlight manner, because National Law Day is also we are celebrating along with it Constitution Day. And why we have opted it, because till on this date we were able to complete our constitution, but initially we were only celebrating it as National Law Day. But from the year 2015 we were celebrating it as Constitution Day as well. And for this, for making the constitution, we have already made the Constituent Assembly of 299 members as well. So move on to the next slide. See,
May I? Very well said by Shivangi Ma'am. I'm just going to add on to it. National Law Day. Why do we call it Law Day? I don't want to go there. Why do we call it Law Day? 26th November. Why do we attribute the day as Law Day? Okay, I'll ask you just a simple question. What is Constitution? Just tell me the definition of Constitution. Yes, in simple words. Yes, beta.
Constitution is basically rules and regulations laid out that will define what a country is like.
Not what a country is like, how the country governs itself. In simple word, we say Constitution is a book of law. Understood? Constitution is a book of law. So laws are actually spelled in the Constitution. That is why it was National Law Day. We govern ourselves according to the rules and regulations enshrined in the Constitution. Understood? National Law Day and Constitution Day. It is the same. But when you say National Law Day, then the Constitution, the book, the wonderful book which tediously was drafted, isn't it? It does not get its impetus. It does not get its importance. So that is why in 2015, as said by ma'am, we even coined 26th November, renamed 26th November along with National Law Day as Constitution Day. Thank you, ma'am.
thank you very much, ma'am. So can you identify the picture? So he was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. You are right. Move on to next slide. That means he was the first law minister of independent India. Now Himanshi Ma'am will explain.
So when we are focusing on B.R. Ambedkar, as we know that he is known as the father of the Indian Constitution because he was behind the drafting committee. You know what is drafting committee? What is drafting committee? What responsibility has been given to the drafting committee? To form the constitution. So what is the role of Constituent Assembly then? Yes? Drafting committee, the term defines itself, draft. They have to form a rough draft for the constitution. The legality of the constitution, they have given the responsibility of that. And as we know that Bhimrao Ambedkar is not only the father of the Indian Constitution, but he is also the law minister. So he was behind the drafting committee. He became the first, we can say he was the chairperson of this drafting committee. So on 29 August 1947, Constituent Assembly was set up. And drafting committee, the head person was this B.R. Ambedkar only. He was also known as the modern Manu. Who is modern Manu? Or who is Manu? Who is Manu?
Okay, so as ma'am has already highlighted the word Manu. So Manu was a person, historically we are able to know him as Manu, who wrote a famous book Manu Smriti. Do you know about that? Manu Smriti? Yes, yes Karan?
It should govern his territory.
And yes, Varna system as well. You are forgetting the main thing. Okay, sit down. Very nice. So, first of all, if we have already focused the word Manu, so I would like to tell you about Aristotle. Aristotle, do you know about Aristotle? He is considered as the father of political science, as well as he is considered as father of biology as well. So, Aristotle is considered as father of politics. So, I am here. We have already gotten here the word politics. Politics means Rajniti, right? Politics is Rajniti, and as we are able to see here the words political science, politics, there is a huge difference. Political science, as we are able to, this is a very vast notion as well. So political science, in which we are able to study the normative and empirical studies about politics. So politics is Rajniti, and the word polity is a system of governance, that how the country should be governed. So Aristotle, who was considered as the father of politics in the West, in the Western world, in the developed countries, he is considered as the father of politics. Now, who is Manu? Manu is considered as the first political thinker of India. Why he was considered as first political thinker? As he have already wrote a book of Manu Smriti, which we are able to see even today as well. So, do you know about Manu Smriti now? No, you don't know about Manusmriti, because I have already stated the word. You should have to read some of the points of that, and then you will able to know about the Manusmriti. Now move on to next slide.
Now let's come to the definition of constitution. You just know the mere definition or the brief definition of the constitution, right? That constitution is a written document where the rules and regulations have been provided, which helps the state or the government to govern the country. Right, this is the definition. But when we are coming to the broader sense, then we can say that constitution is the aggregate of fundamental principles. There are many values that has been instituted in our constitution. Not only that, it is the legal basis of the polity. What is polity? What is polity? The administration, the governance, that is polity. Organization or other type of entity commonly determine how the entity is to be governed. The next thing is how the entity is to be governed. Entity that don't only constitute the citizens, but also the institutions, the structures that have been in our country.
So originally the constitution, as already explained, she has already explained what is the constitution, because we can say that it is a set of some rules and regulations, but in India we are having written in, it in written form. It is a written set of rules and regulation of our country, that is our Indian constitution. So as you are able to see here, two blocks, two circles, which is original constitution and present constitution. Is there any difference between both of them? Yes, what difference? Numerical difference, number 22 से 25 हो गया, ऐसा क्या difference है? What is the difference between both of them? Amendments, very nice, because 22 parts in original constitution. When we when we draft our constitution, as we can say, as we can also say that when we were able to complete our constitution, it took 2 years, 11 months, 18 days, and we were able to form our constitution in 22 parts. with 395 articles and 8 schedules, right? But presently we are having 25 parts, 470 articles and 12 schedules. So as we are able to see here, 22 parts. Do you know, like our constitution is divided into 22 parts. Like just if I'll say that part 1 is about union and its territory. Okay, part 2 is about citizenship. Part 3 fundamental rights. Part 4 DPSP, directive principles of state policy, and part 4A, when we are adding a clause, part 4A, that is our fundamental duties. So part 4A, even if we have already written A, we are already including it in another part, and we are counting it as a 23rd, right? 23, and after that in panchayati we have add 24, फिर again 25. So that is why it is possible. Now it become possible that we are having 25 parts till now. Now 470 articles. How? How is it possible that we were having 395 articles and right now we are having 470 articles? Amendments, right? Amendments which comes under the article 368 of our constitution. So amendments till this date. Can I ask you one question, one general question? Till this date, how many constitution have happened till this date? Can anyone answer? चाहे गलत हो चलेगा. How many amendments till this date? Yes. 105, very nice. 105, we are having already 105 amendments till this date and 8 schedules. 8 schedules in our original constitution were there, and right now we are having 12 schedules. And last one is about Panchayati Raj municipal corporations, right? So this is about the original and present constitution.
Now let's come to the Constituent Assembly. At that time, how many members were in the Constituent Assembly? 299 members were in the Constituent Assembly, and they have given the task to make this constitutions. You know at that time who was the president of the Constituent Assembly? Doctor? Dr. Rajendra Prasad, not B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairperson of the drafting committee. We are stating here about the Constituent Assembly. So Constituent Assembly was elected to frame the Indian Constitution. Now when we are talking about the Constituent Assembly, the 299 members were there, but they actually belong to the different castes, different background, different economic classes. So there was different diversity that we can see or reflect in our Constituent Assembly only. So there were 299 members of the Constituent Assembly, but do you know that how many women members were there in the Constituent Assembly? Only 15 members, only 15 women members were there in the Constituent Assembly, and they have to reflect the demands or the aspirations of whole Indian women. Now these 15 women, prominent women among them were Suchitra Kriplani. Have you heard that name, Suchitra Kriplani? No? She was the first woman chief minister. First woman chief minister. The next one is Durgabai Deshmukh. Heard that name? She was the activist, political as well as social activist. Next one is Sarojini Naidu. I hope you heard that name. Sarojini Naidu? Who was she? Famous? She wrote the? So what was she doing in that Constituent Assembly? You know, she is also known as the Nightingale of India. Yes. Sarojini Naidu was the powerful leader of women's movement. The other ones were Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. Okay, so there were many prominent women, and not only that, they were also from the different religious background as well, like Begum Azaz Rasool. So these were the women, important women among the 15 members of the women among the Constituent Assembly.
when we have completed our constitution, we were having this particulars and description right here. So our country name became Republic of India. We know in the world we are known as Republic of India. Republic means there is a head in our country, elected head in our country. See, as ma'am has already told you about Durgabai Deshmukh, she was activist, and there is a metro station as well by the name of Durgabai Deshmukh, that is South Campus, very famous for students, right? Because there is a, we can say South Campus, as you are able to see South Campus, that is a campus, right, for college students. Now, capital, as moving on to the capital, capital is National Capital Territory of Delhi. As you are also aware about that, NCT Delhi, National Capital Territory of Delhi. So our type of the government is, have you heard about these names? Sovereign, Socialist, Secular, Democratic, Republic. Where? Maybe you saw these names in your NCRT books in front pages, fundamental rights and preamble as well. So sovereign means sovereignty, like we are free from any of the external power. Socialist is a, we can say, political term. Socialist is a, we can say, those who are following socialism, and is a political term in which government seeks to have all the resources and distribute them equally, right? Secular means there will be no official religion. Democratic maybe all you should have to be aware. Democracy means choose the representatives through voting system, and republic, there is a elected head in our country. So let me tell you one thing, the word socialist and secular preamble is stated as it cannot be amended, but socialist and secular, these two words were added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in the year 1976. And after that, if you are talking about the legal system of our country, legal system, that means the founding source of legal system is constitution. That means constitution should be considered as the supreme body in our country for rules and regulations as well. Move on to next slide.
Now, what happens if a ruler become a dictator? What happens if a ruler becomes a dictator? We call them a autocrat, right? Totalitarian. Yes, that means he exercises all the powers, whether it's execution of law, whether it's making the law, or whether it's punishing if someone violates the law, right? That happens. Now, to amend that, so that we don't give the government that much power, what we did? We divide the powers into branches, right? Into organs of the government. So the first branch is the executive branch. The executive branch consists of the president, the prime minister, council of ministers, which is appointed by the president but on the advice of prime minister only, and then the cabinets. These constitutes the executive branch. Who is executive? Whom we call the executives? Whom we call the executives? Executives are the one who implements the law, who enforce the law. The second branch is the legislature branch. In the legislature branch, what are the legislature branches? They have the responsibility to make the laws. Very good. So they have the responsibility to make the laws, and in our legislature as well, our judiciary as well, we have divided them into several courts, right? That pyramid structure we called it. The first one at the topmost, it is Supreme Courts, then High Courts, then District Courts, and there is a subdivision of these district courts as well, right? Do you recall? Okay, I'll give you a hint. The first one is called civil courts. So what will be the other one? Criminal courts. Very good.
So these are the branches, these are the institutions that have been in the legislative branch. Now next come on the judicial branches. Sorry, yes, judicial branches I've discussed. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Very well explained, ma'am. All right. I'm getting back to the legislative and the executive branch. What is the difference between the legislative and the executive branch? Executive executes the law. Executives are not there in the making of the law. Executives are not there in the making of the law. Now, 1 minute. Now, all of them. All of them. Now, let's get back to you. We are going to have elections in 2024. Right? We are going to have elections in 2024. Yes or no? Yes. In 2024, who will we be electing? Members of the? No. Members of the Lok Sabha. We are going to have the Lok Sabha elections in 2024. Alright, see, Parliament comprises of the two houses, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha members are directly elected and Rajya Sabha members are indirectly elected. 12 of them are nominated, am I right? 12 of them are nominated. Okay, now these elected members, all of them from every constituency. From every constituency. How many constituencies is India divided into? Any idea? Any idea? Your homework. 5? 5? Sure? Check. You're very near. You're very near. There's no doubt about it. Okay? Isn't it? You're not going to play that quiz. It's 59, 5 into 56, 56 into 57, 58 to hoga hi hoga because two of them are. Anyways. Alright. So we have over 500 constituencies. Now from each constituency we have various parties nominating their candidate. We have independent candidates also standing for the election and all of them get elected to the legislative assembly, to the Lok Sabha, right? Then the party who is making majority, right now, who is the party having majority in the legislative assembly? BJP. Now then BJP said, okay, you have to make the government. Isn't it? Then many of the BJP MLAs, they cannot be made into ministers, right? But who are made into ministers, who are having a portfolio, they form the executive. Alright? Executive, you can say, is the maths ke teacher, ma'am, subset. Set or subset. If say, your fridge is the set. Okay? फिर जो भी है वो सारे लेजिस्लेटिव है, ठीक है? लेकिन ठंडा कौन करवाता है? Freezer. Alright, whatever. I mean, take freezer compartment as the subset where you have the executives. Executives are the members who have portfolio. Okay? All of them will make the law and then the law will be handed over to the executives who will implement the law directly in the functioning of the laws or government. Am I right, ma'am? Legislative and executive? Isn't it? छोटा सा set in the legislative वो executive हो जाता है जिनके पास actually powers होते हैं. Right? Understood? Alright? Like for example, any minister right now? Any what do you say? Central minister's name you know? Amit Shah is not a central this. Who is your defense minister? Rajnath Singh. Rajnath Singh is the executive. Nitin Gadkari is the executive. He's part of the legislature very much. but he has that power. Javadkar, executive. Understood? Understood? Thank you, ma'am. Very interesting. Wonderful job.
Okay, so you can just revise it, what you have learned. So executive branch, what the duties they have been provided? To enforce the law. Okay, legislative makes the law, and judiciary, after the implementing of law, the judiciary watches if they are following the law or not. So they supervise the law.
So coming to our next particular, that is national flag. So our flag description is, the national flag is horizontal tricolor. Can you tell me the ratio of our national flag? Is there anyone who can tell me the ratio of national flag? Yes. Yes. Behad खूबसूरत. Yes, the answer is wrong. 3:2. So 3:2. So this is horizontal tricolor of deep saffron. The first one is the first color you are able to see here in the flag is Kesaria. We call it Kesaria as well. That is saffron at the top, and in the middle that is white and dark green at the bottom in equal proportion. Right, so there is importance of national flag as well. We are able to see this question in all administrative examination. If you are going to become any administrative officer in any of the department, now, so you will able to see this question as one of the prominent question in your examination. You have to learn this question for your competitive examinations as well. Now coming to the national days, we are having only 3 national days. That is 26th January, that is Republic Day. Okay, 15th of August, that is our Independence Day, and 2nd October, Gandhi Jayanti. Why we are celebrating it? Birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. So this is our preamble. We can say the base, we can say roots of our constitution, okay, or also can say index part of our constitution, on which our country laid emphasis, like we the people of India. First of all, focus the word we the people of India. From where we have taken this word we the people of India, from which constitution? We have already borrowed so many words, we can say so many features of our Indian constitution from other constitutions, right? Like written constitution. Written constitution is also a feature. We have opted it from US constitution. Okay, we the people of India, this particular line, we here denoting the unity in diversity. We Indian are very much diverse. Like India is a democratic country as well as secular country. So it is very important here to understand we means we, when we are uniting the whole nation into integrated one part, that is India. So how do we call ourselves? Do we call like Hindu, Muslim? Yes, we call ourselves as that way. But first of all, from amongst these words, the superior one is Indian. We are Indian. So we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, as I have already told you earlier, sovereign socialist, which is the added word in our constitution in the year 1976. Secular is also the word which has been amended and added in our constitution by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Democratic and republic. So these are the 5 words you should have to remember: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. Now Himanshi Ma'am will tell you.
Okay, so when we are talking about the values of these constitution has been attributed not only for the first time in the preamble or discussed in the first time in the preamble, but it was also in 1946 by Jawaharlal Nehru in objective resolution. In objective resolution, he mentioned that what or how he wants the constitution to be, what principles he want to mention in the constitution. So these were the principles that he wanted to mention in the constitution, that how he wanted the constitution. And now what are the factors how we achieve those principles? These are the factors how can we achieve these principles, these values. The first one is justice. Justice not only in the social sense but also in the political and the economic sense. That means in justice we call equality before law, right? We use these terms, equality before law. That means no person is greater than the law itself. The next one is the liberty. You have the liberty. Liberty means liber. It comes from the word liber, which means free. Freedom of thought, expression, worship. But that liberty also has a limit. You cannot do anything on the name of liberty. Okay. The next one is equality. The next factor, equality of opportunity and of status. There should be no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, gender. The next one is fraternity. What is fraternity? Fraternity is brotherhood. Very good. And what does this fraternity does? We know in India there is a multi-diverse culture, multilingual culture, right? So how we unite these peoples through the fraternity, through the feeling of this commonness only, through the feeling of this connectivity only. The next is in our constitution, and do you know the terms here that have been used? Unity and the integrity of the nation. As ma'am have mentioned, the secular socialists have been amended in the 42nd Amendment Act. These terms unity and integrity word also added in the 42nd Amendment Act. Earlier it was unity of the nation. After it, unity and integrity of the nation, so that our nation should not divide up. Let alone we have many diversity, but we should respect those diverse cultures. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day is 26 November 1949, we adopt this constitution, enact, implement this constitution, and give to ourselves to this constitution. Gives to ourselves, that means now here on we will follow and we will be guided and controlled by our constitution only, which is supreme. So next, this is our presentation. So next there will be a short brief video. Yes, it might be long for you, but don't get bored, please. I request you. So there will be a short video based on the making of this Indian Constitution.
दिसंबर 1946 में जिस इमारत की तामीर शुरू की गई थी, असल में उसकी नींव बहुत पहले रखी जा चुकी थी। 1857 की क्रांति के दौरान बागी सिपाहियों ने भी हिंदुस्तान का एक अपना संविधान बनाने की कोशिश की थी। उनका विद्रोह तो जल्दी ही दबा दिया गया, मगर आजाद देश का एक अपना आईन बनाने का सपना न दबा था न हारा था। और जैसे जैसे महात्मा गांधी के नेतृत्व में आजादी की आवाज तेज हुई तो अपना संविधान बनाने की मांग भी और तीव्र होती गई।
On one side, the White Christmas Godfrey presented to the British government a note on the Constitution in 1914. And the British said, yes, yes, we will accept it after the war. But now they want to make a constitution for us. But you know, a constitution for India should be and can be formed only by Indians. Now it works.
पहली बार हिज मैजेस्टी की सरकार के 3 कैबिनेट मंत्री एक साथ भारत भेजे गए। ये कहलाया कैबिनेट मिशन।
मैं और मेरे साथी इस वक्त यहाँ पूरे हिंदुस्तान की आजादी की पेशकश लिए मौजूद हैं। बाकी सारे दौर में जो हम बाद में तय कर सकते हैं अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में जो जमा होगी एक आजाद हिंदुस्तान के ख्वाब की ताबीर करने के लिए। Dreams that may turn into nightmares for the Muslims of this country if we allow the Congress to have its way. That's why it's imperative that we Muslims of India have our own group of states that may decide its own constitution. This is not acceptable to us. We are here to discuss the fate of a united India, not to break India into pieces. If this is the purpose of this meeting, I'm afraid we will not be left being here. In that case, I will be forced to adjourn the meeting.
मार्क एक्शन के डर से ब्रिटिश सम्राट की सरकार तुरंत मान गई और पंडित नेहरू के भारत लौटते ही 3 दिन के अंदर हिंदुस्तान का आईन बनाने के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली का मिलना तय हो गया।
Mr. Chairman, the resolution that I am placing before you defines our aims and describes the outline of the plans and points to the way in which we are going to take. The resolution that I place before you is in the nature of a pledge. And I hope the House will pass this resolution, which is of a special nature.
भारत की अक्षरता, अखंडता और स्वायत्तता से लेकर नए भारत में सबकी समानता और एकता तक की बात अपने प्रस्ताव में रखी थी पंडित नेहरू ने।
चौधरी साहब की बातें देखिए आपने बोला हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स में जनाब फरमाते हैं कि any attempts by the Congress party to establish Hindu rule on the basis of majority will be fatal to any conception of the unity of India. This unity was a superficial appearance imposed there by the long generations of British rule. And it will pass away once the impartial guidance from the outside is withdrawn. The charge is that the Muslim League has been encouraged by the attitude of the British to imagine that if it does not come, it may be able to veto the final decision of the Constitutional Assembly.
डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी के इच्छित बाद पहली बार संविधान सभा में बोलने खड़े हुए डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर।
We are divided politically, socially, and economically. We are a group of warring tribes. Let me confess that I am probably one of the leaders of such a camp. But sir, I'm quite convinced that given time and circumstances, nothing in the world will prevent this country from becoming one.
संविधान सभा का अगला यानी 5वां सत्र शुरू होना था एक बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक दिन 15 अगस्त 1947।
वर्षों के संघर्ष और जद्दोजहद के बाद हम अपने देश के शासन की बागडोर अपने हाथों में लेने जा रहे हैं। हमें उस परम पिता परमात्मा को याद करना चाहिए जो मनुष्यों और देशों के भाग्य को बनाता है। जवाहरलाल नेहरू अपना प्रस्ताव व्यक्त करेंगे। चंद मिनटों में यह असेंबली पूरी तरह से आजाद खुद मुख्तार असेंबली हो जाएगी।
और डिमांड भी करेगी एक आजाद खुद मुख्तार मुल्क की। Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we must redeem our promise. Not only all in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
इस सेशन में संविधान को बाकायदा लिखित रूप देने की दिशा में काम शुरू किया गया।
ये तय पाया गया है कि भारत के हर एक नागरिक को कहीं भी आने जाने, रहने, बसने, जायदाद खरीदने और नौकरी, काम, व्यवसाय करने की पूरी आजादी होगी। Subject to such restraints as the law may impose. Oh yes, of course, that goes without saying. No, Chaji. In the Constitution, nothing goes without saying. The idea of making a gift of fundamental rights to every individual is no doubt very laudable. The question is how to make them effective. The prevalent view is that once the rights are enacted in law, then they are safeguarded. As experience proves, rights are protected not by law, but by the social and moral conscience of the society. Social conscience is the only safeguard of all rights, fundamental or non-fundamental. So, from my experience as a parliamentarian and a man of the world, I think it would be wise to provide for a woman's constituency. If we give them a special constituency, they can have their scramble and fight among themselves without coming into the general constituency.
So, the last speaker, Shri Ravi Kumar Chaudhary, the champion and defender of women, who in the movement for social disabilities, spoke about special electorates for women. In spite of the chivalry of the previous speaker, Indian women will not tolerate any such reservation in the constitution.
बुनियादी हकों के अलावा एक अनोखी चीज शामिल हुई हमारे संविधान में, राजनीति के निदेशक तत्व, the directive principles of state policy.
Directive principles are like instruments of instructions. The inclusion of such instructions in such a constitution becomes justifiable for another reason. The draft constitution is not a contrivance to install any particular party in power, as has been done in some countries. Who should be in power is left to be determined by the people. But the group that captures power will have to respect the directive principles. They cannot ignore them. Their breach may not be answerable in a court of law, but will certainly be answerable to the electorate at election time.
अगर समाज में कुछ भी संगत होता है, अक्सर इसकी पहले आंच आती है माइनॉरिटीज पर। शायद इसलिए हमारा संविधान बनाने वाले माइनॉरिटीज और बैकवर्ड्स के अधिकारों को लेकर बहुत सजग थे। इस कमेटी का सबसे पहला और अहम काम ये होना चाहिए कि वो कोई ऐसे रास्ते सुझाएं जिससे समाज में माइनॉरिटीज को अलग थलग करने के जो रिवाज है उन्हें खत्म कर दिए जाए। इनमें माइनॉरिटी ग्रुप्स हैं, अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड हैं, दलित लोग हैं और औरतें भी हैं। मेरे हिसाब से औरतें इस समाज की सबसे बड़ी माइनॉरिटी इकाई है।
कितने दिनों तक हम ये रक्षा कवच प्रदान करेंगे, ये भी हमें तय करना होगा, और ये कि कब इसे समाप्त कर दिया जाए। हमें अपने लिए एक समय सीमा तय करनी पड़ेगी कि उतने दिनों में हम अपने समाज से पिछड़े और अगले वर्गों का भेद मिटा देंगे, जिससे सभी सामने बांध के रखा हुआ है। खतरा यह है कि अगर हमने एक विशेष वर्ग को आरक्षण दे दिया कि बाकी के लोग भी आरक्षण की मांग करेंगे और भारत भर में जातिवाद का ये जहर फैलता जाएगा। जहर तो हमने किया है सदियों से और फिर भी हम जिंदा हैं। खून की हड्डी तोड़ डाली आप लोगों ने हमारी, फिर भी हम लोग खड़े हैं। एक बार हमें अपने बराबर आने का मौका तो दीजिए पटेल जी, देखिए कैसे हम आगे निकल जाते हैं। और ये काम बिना आरक्षण के नहीं होगा। अगर फिर भी मेरी बातें आपको जहरीली लगी हुई हो तो मैंने अपना इस्तीफा तैयार रखा है, आप खुद लेते जाइएगा। मैं बड़ा जिद्दी आदमी हूं अम्बेडकर जी, लेकिन मूर्ख नहीं हूं। किसान देखकर ही बता सकता हूं कि कौन सा बीज कल मुझे अच्छी फसल देगा।
कहते हैं हर झगड़े की जड़ सिर्फ 3 चीजें होती हैं, जड़, जल, जमीन। धन, स्त्री और भूमि। महाभारत भी तो भूमि के सवाल पर ही हुई थी। फिर कैसे हमारे देश के बड़े जमींदार और राजे रजवाड़े अपनी जमीनों को नए देश और संविधान के चलते इतनी आसानी से हाथ से चले जाने देते?
No property, movable or immovable, any person or corporation, including any interest in commercial or industrial undertaking, shall be taken or acquired for public use. The law provides for the payment of compensation for the property taken or acquired, and specifies the principles on which and the manner in which the compensation is to be determined. सभापति महोदय, आपके आदेश से मैं एक संशोधन पेश करना चाहूंगा कि खंड 19 में मुआवजे से पहले शब्द उचित जोड़ लिया जाए। मैं साफ कर देना चाहता हूं कि हमारे संविधान में जमींदारी उन्मूलन और भूमि सुधार वायलेट किए जा रहे हैं कि हम संघ के सामाजिक उद्देश्यों को पूरा कर सके। इंसाफी है, क्या ये काफी नहीं है कि चाहे कोई अपनी जमीन से कितना कम क्यों न कमाता हो, हमने उसकी भूमि का कम से कम 8 गुना तो पैसा उसे दिया ही है।
संविधान सभा में जितनी तीखी गर्म बहसें भाषा के सवाल को लेकर हुई, उतनी किसी और विषय पर नहीं हुई।
मेरा मत है कि हिंदी और केवल हिंदी इस देश की राष्ट्रभाषा हो सकती है। जहां तक दक्षिण भारत के नागरिकों और सदस्यों का सवाल है, मैं स्वीकार करता हूं कि कुछ वर्षों तक कार्यवाही को अंग्रेजी में चलाना होगा। उसमें हम जबरदस्ती कुछ लाभ कर नहीं सकते, मगर अंत में हिंदी ही हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा होगी और साथ में देवनागरी हमारी राष्ट्रनीति। I would convey a warning on behalf of the people of South India, because there are already elements there who want separation, and it is up to us to firmly try and keep those elements down. And our friends in UP do not help in any way by repeatedly flogging their idea of Hindi imperialism. Sir, it's up to my friends in UP to have an undivided, unbroken whole India, or it's up to them to have only a Hindi India. मुझे ये देखकर सख्त मायूसी हुई कि इस तरफ से लेकर उस तरफ जाने के हम कई ख्याली छाई है। मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि ऐसा कम दिमाग मिलकर हम दुनिया की बड़ी और हरगिज नहीं बन पाएंगे। हिंदुस्तानी के खिलाफ जो भी कुछ कहा था, उसमें से इस बात पर सबसे ज्यादा जोर दिया जाता है कि अगर हिंदी की जगह हिंदुस्तानी को इख्तियार कर लिया गया तो इसमें इसमें पैदा हो जाएगी। मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि अगर इस तरह की गुंजाइश पैदा हुई तो कौन सी कयामत टूट पड़ेगी, कौन सी कयामत टूट पड़ेगी।
ऐसे हालात में एक विशेष समिति बनाई गई और श्री के एम मुंशी और श्री गोपाल स्वामी अयंगार को कोई ऐसा फॉर्मूला इजाद करने का काम दिया गया जिससे भाषा के सवाल पर सब संतुष्ट हो सके।
The final decision is that we should adopt as a language for all official purposes of the Union under the Constitution. The subsidiary decisions were that we had to keep English going for a period of 15 years until Hindi could establish for itself a position in which English stands today. हमारे आईन का ऐसा फ्रेमवर्क जरूरी है जिसमें फेडरेशन के साथ एक मजबूत मरकज भी हो। इसलिए सेंटर और सूबों के हकों के बंटवारे के लिए तीन फहरिस्तें होनी जरूरी है, मरकजी, सूबाई और मिली जुली, यानी द फेडरल, द प्रोविंशियल एंड द कंकरेंट। जवाहरलाल जी, जब तक प्रांतों को आप कुछ जिम्मेदारी देंगे ना, सूबे जिम्मेदारी लेना सीखेंगे कैसे? कांग्रेस से हमेशा विकेंद्रीकरण की बात की थी, पर अब जब हमारे घर से आया है तो झिझक क्यों रहे हैं? वैसे भी मेरा मानना है कि भारत जैसे विशाल देश को केवल दिल्ली से नहीं चलाया जा सकता। However much you may deny powers to the center, it is difficult to prevent the center from becoming strong. Conditions in the modern world are such that centralization of powers is inevitable. On the other hand, we must resist the tendency to make it stronger. It cannot chew more than it can digest. Its strength must be commensurate with its weight. It would be a folly to make it so strong that it may fall by its own weight.
कहा जाता है कि भारत का संविधान 3 स्तंभों पर टिका हुआ है। The 3 pillars of our democracy are the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive.
Now to the question of the relationship between the legislature and the judiciary. In the federal constitution, it is always open to the judiciary to decide whether any particular law passed by the legislature is ultra-virus or intra-virus. Myself, I cannot omit the possibility of a legislature backed by partymen making laws which may abrogate and violate the fundamental rights affecting the life and liberty of an individual. At the same time, I do not see how 5 or 6 gentlemen sitting in the Supreme Court examining laws made by the legislature by dint of their own individual bias and prejudice be trusted to determine which law is good and which is bad.
संविधान सभा के इस खूबसूरत सेंट्रल हॉल में 3 साल में बहुत से प्रस्ताव, अनुच्छेद और नुक्ते रखे गए, पास किए गए और बिल्कुल अंत में पारित हुई हमारी उद्देशिका यानी प्रियम्बल, जो संविधान में सबसे पहले आती है।
We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic, to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship.
3 साल की अथक मेहनत रंग ला रही थी।
Looking back on the work of the Constituent Assembly, it will now be 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days since it first met on the 9th of December 1946. On the 26th January 1950, India would be a democratic nation. In the sense that India from that day would have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. On the 26th of January 1950, we were going to enter into a life of contradictions. In politics, we will have equality. And in social and economic life, we will have inequality. In politics, we will be recognizing the principle of one man, one vote, and one vote, one ballot. In our social and economic life, we shall, by reason of our social and economic structure, continue to deny the principle of one man, one ballot. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? If we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in peril. We must remove this contradiction at the earliest moment. Those who suffer from inequality will know the structure of this political democracy so laboriously built up by this suffering.
आज 6 दशकों के बाद जब हम मुड़कर अपने संविधान की ओर देखते हैं तो हैरत होती है इस दस्तावेज को बनाने वालों की सूझबूझ पर। जैसा कि विद्वान लैंडल ऑस्टिन ने लिखा है, equipped with the basic qualifications, attitudes, and experience for creating and working a democratic constitution, Indians did not default their twisted destiny.
Now you people know that why it took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Now you are aware about the fact that how much diversity was there in our country, even for language, even for we can say thoughts, even for we can say any of the ideas, people were not agreeing with others. Even if you are in the class, are you agreeing with the points of your other fellow mates? It was very difficult for making the one particular constitution for the whole country with having the, as I had, we can say, the consolidated federal structure and having Delhi as the main consolidated center, as we are able to know about the fact that national capital territory of Delhi is our national capital, right? So now by this video clip, you are able to understand it was literally difficult to make a single that long written constitution, and it is considered as the one of the lengthiest written constitution in the world. And you are now can answer that why it took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days due to those much of debates which were happening in the Constituent Assembly. The issues were women, the issues was language. As we are able to see in the northern part of our India, people are speaking Hindi and they were insisting towards the Hindi language. But South Indian people were insisting over English language. See, that is why there is a, we can say, unity in diversity. Thank you. I would like to call Dean Ma'am on the stage.
Yes, as rightly said my ma'am, that Indian constitution is the lengthiest constitution. And it took lots of time to make the Indian constitution. The main reason for taking around 2 years to make the Indian constitution is the multifaceted social structure that India has. All right, multifaceted. India is one country where you have all the people from different faiths residing in India. Right from being a Hindu to Zoroastrianism. Okay, India is a country where there are more than 1700 spoken languages. India is a country with the oldest continuous civilization which has a varied culture. In a family with members of 4 and 5, it's so difficult to come to a consensus. एक मत होना कितना difficult है. So just imagine a country, that time we had around, if I'm not mistaken, 30 crore was the Indian population now, around? 30 crore was the Indian population that time. Alright, 30 crore people, their interest, their culture, their language, okay, their interest to protect. Then we know that our society was divided, or yes, is divided in the ma'am used the word very well when she was using the word manu. No, divided in the varnas, the Indian society divided in the varnas or the caste system, isn't it? Then keeping the sentiments of people belonging to different strata of the society, isn't it? All those, minute details were worked upon. Extensive debates were carried out. And they say the lengthiest debate was conducted on the issue of reservation. The lengthiest debate was this. All right. Of course, language was always there, like what to make national language of India. Big debate, Hindi versus English, and then it was decided that till we have another language, English will be the official language and Hindi will be the yes, functional language, or whatever you call it, as a national language. That is why it took so much time. And see, the Indian constitution, time has changed, but still it is so contemporary. Meaning 50 years back, we say life is dynamic. What the society might have been. That time they made the constitution, but today also it is valid. You can apply it, isn't it? So how contemporary, how far-sighted and foresighted the makers of the Indian constitution were. Understood? You like this type of presentation? In other subjects also, would you like to have this type of presentation, particularly in social science and sciences? Yes or no? So every week, we have to have one presentation in science and one presentation in social science. Done? Enjoyed the day? Yes. So all of you stand up. Can we have more sound? Yes. I made you all stand up. I made you all stand up to give a standing ovation to our social science teachers, Madam Shivangi and Madam Himanshi. Please come up on stage, ma'am, for doing this wonderful job. God bless you. Love you all. Okay. Yes. See, this is the reaction. So more power presentation, even in BSc, even in economics, that's more power presentation. Science, physics, chemistry, English. Thank you, students, very much. It is your interest only that keep us making these type of presentation, that give us courage or give us strength to make these type of videos as well. So, how you like the presentation? And how was the video? Not just a clap. How was the video? It was good? So it interests you? That is why it is known, Indian Constitution is our cornerstone of our nation. And Granville Austin has put it. Okay, thank you.
But, okay. Thank you so much, first of all, Dean Ma'am, teachers as well, and students who have shown us so much of patience and who have also given us the opportunity to present this kind of presentation. So I would like to thank all of you for this lovely presentation. I am not saying that I have already only made this presentation. You are the people who made this presentation to this extent. So thank you very much, all of you. And special thanks to these students who always take care of all technical aspects of this, all the presentations. So thank you, Harsh and Harsh.